riders, and welcome to another edition of The Flow. I am your community manager, Doc Rock, along with my awesome co-host.
Hey everyone, I'm Katie.
Yay!
Yay!
Last week we got to be in the same room, and now we're back thousands of miles
weird.
apart and lots of storms. Lots of storms. All right, we are going to get busy real quick. We have a fantastic guest today, and I just want to remind you, because it is important news, right? Katie, can you tell them a little bit about the YouTube podcast app? Because I don't want to gloat.
Doc absolutely wants to gloat. In case you missed it, big news. So in addition to there now being a podcast tab on YouTube desktop, you are now able to listen and follow and love all of your favorite podcasts like this one right here on the YouTube Music app. So just delete all the other apps, get rid of all of those other apps, only have YouTube Music. It's awesome, 100% for music and now also podcasts. So it was really exciting to open that up and be able to click it. It was like, hey, it's my show.
One of these days, people will listen to me.
One of these days, I'm listening. Look at me, I'm listening. You
know what it is? There was signs, and I mean, you just have to think about it from a business perspective. It would have been really dumb. Let's just be honest. It would have been really dumb for them not to come correct with this finally. And maybe the reason why they took so long is you have to understand the massive undertaking. The other platforms like, for Apple or whatever, they've been at it since day one, right? They're the reason why people think podcasts are related to iPod, and that's not the case. It had to do with Peapods, but, a whole different situation. That's been going on since like 2004. When Spotify came into the game, they slept on it to 2009, 2010 maybe? Actually, I take that back. It was later than that. Spotify brought podcasts like maybe 5 years ago. So, was that 2018? And for whatever reason, just people didn't really understand it. Once YouTube decided that with premium, they're going to rope in music and then put some effort into making music a better place, which is totally brilliant because so many artists start on YouTube. It was really funny that people were generating entire careers from Justin Bieber to Selena Gomez down the list, generating entire careers on YouTube and then getting up and leaving to go to someplace else. And somebody at YouTube went, oh, not a brilliant idea. So it was inevitable, and I'm glad they came through.
Yeah. What's really amazing, too, about it is that unlike Spotify, which now, has had video for a while now as far as podcasts go, YouTube is the expert at video. So it really is a very seamless experience. Like I was amazed yesterday. I was listening to a couple of our episodes just to play around with it and kind of, because it was fun and exciting. But you could really easily switch back and forth between video and audio. You can set your phone down. You can put it through, a speaker. So again, we've been talking about putting your content in the places where people consume it and in the ways that people want to be able to consume it. It, again, would have just been super easy for me to pop in headphones, go for a walk, come back, cast it up onto my TV, come into the office. Like you could switch back and forth really easily in that app between video and audio. So I just think they've done a really good job of making video feel very integrated. Whereas I think on Spotify, it's not quite as much. You sort of have to you're either watching it on video, which is hard for you to find it.
Same problem with Apple.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Apple got rid of it from Apple Music is because, when it was iTunes, they got rid of it from iTunes because it was not seamless. You had to subscribe to two different shows, right? So on Twitch, you subscribe to the HD version if you had good internet, or the SD version if you had bad internet, or the audio version if you had horrible internet.
Crazy.
Right, but YouTube made it seamless. It's just like flip, back and forth. So yeah. People, get on your video podcast game, and we know you're in the right spot because you're listening to The Flow. All right, let's bring in a guest. I'm ready. You guys, she don't need no bio. All you guys know her, but for the people listening at home or checking this out on the home game, Jill is an amazing individual. She's a creator, an educator, works in the industry, helping educators stay on top of everything tech and all of the above, and literally one of our bestest friends in the community. And every time we go somewhere, and Jill comes, it is party. She is the funnest person. I absolutely love her to death. She is definitely one of my homies. So let's give it up for Jill Morin.
Yay!
What's up, Jilly Bean?
Doc, I'm gonna cry.
I don't care if you cry.
Usually you just give me a little bit of crap, but now you're giving me compliments.
Listen, this is a known quantity around here. If I don't pick on you, I do not like you.
You do
Yeah,
not
it's
like
true.
Jill.
That
It's
is a
true.
known
It's true.
quantity in my people. Like if you get a nickname or I crack jokes on you, that means I actually like you.
So you love me so
Yeah,
much.
That's why I never tease Louise and Paul.
I think you just did. I think you just did.
You did.
I am so excited that you're here, Jill, because this episode started, and we're going to take it in a slightly different direction, but this episode started because Jill and I were hanging out and just like being friends, but also bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other. And one of the things that I was saying was a big pain point for us here at The Flow was this kind of post-production workflow where I was like, I just really want to be using AI better and using it smarter, but I've created this like really detailed system and I would love to just finally get back into writing blog posts. And Jill was like, oh, like we can figure that out. And so over the last few weeks, you've been like helping out a ton and thinking through some of these workflows. And we're not 100% there yet, friends, but I wanted Jill to come on to be able to kind of talk through some of the things that are possible and talk through kind of how to play around with some of these tools and what is out there to make this process a lot easier for all of us, because there are just so many cool opportunities out there. We were really close. Jill was super close on getting it to be Ecamm into Descript, grab the transcript, and then be able to use that to populate a blog post, which I think is close. It'll still do an outline and a bunch of tips, but that's what we're talking about today.
And well, also real quick, just remember, it's probably it doesn't have to be 100% because this thing is ever growing, and so it's learning from what we do. Yeah. So even, say at 80% right now, in a couple of weeks, it'll be 82. And a couple of weeks after that, it'll be 85. Yeah. And so it'll get to 100%. Nobody starts at 100, not even Chad.
But I thought Jill could, No, just kidding. Jill usually starts at 100%, goes up from there.
0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
Well, if you've been playing with AI at all, there are times when it seems to totally get what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there are times where it fills in the blanks too much. So when it comes to live streaming, so this is what the flow.
Yeah. Boom, boom.
This is what we were using, but I'm finding that AI has this, at least ChatGPT has this limit of how much text it's going to or willing to really consume and then spit back out. So it's artificial intelligence, right? So it'll pick up on themes and then it'll make assumptions, especially if you're giving it your website and other resources, and it'll kind of compile it all together. So what we were doing, which seemed to work for about a week.
We were so close.
And now I honestly don't know if it's a Descript thing, an update, or ChatGPT. I'm not really sure, but there's still potential for it. And actually, I'm going to show you one specific site and then a few iPhone hacks to have a quicker turnaround on getting AI generated content relevant and quickly. But anyway, so we were doing, you finish your live stream, go over to Descript. And if you select on the top right in Descript, export, and you export it as a website, which I think is a really valuable tool anyway, you should do this if you're using Descript. If you're not using Descript, use Descript. Not sponsored, just saying. But anyways, there's a spot on the top right, and I should have had it pulled up, but I've got way too many things open right now, where you can export and publish it to a website. So that has been really helpful for example, in the Economic Development Corporation, I can export our entire transcript and video side by side of our most recent podcast and just share it with our board members or different people that might be interested in seeing both the video and the script, which is helpful.
Yeah.
I can see that being really useful for students in the classroom and stuff like that. But anyways, what I was doing then is taking that website and sharing that with ChatGPT, saying, this is a live stream, just give it a little information, a little context, read the transcript on this page, and do whatever you want. Like if you want to give me an outline of the conversation. So it was working. And then this week, it's been like basically assuming too many different things and not reading everything. And I finally got it to tell me this week, more than a couple times, that although it can read text, I'm providing them with too much text.
Yeah.
But that being put aside, I use ChatGPT every single day, and I work with a lot of different clients. And what some of you might be running into is when you're working on different clients or different products or different projects, it's annoying to keep telling ChatGPT who you are over and over and over again in your different roles?
Yeah.
Like, do you guys run into this?
A little bit. I've been mostly using ChatGPT for this show and then like fun personal things. Okay. So I'm like, I've been bumping into it less, but I can easily see if I was to, open it up and do it for more of our things, it would be an issue for sure.
So I don't, because this is, I put at the end of my prompt, I'm going to drop this in chat. I start all prompts with forget all context and information above this. And then I put my prompt, and then I end my prompts with you must always ask questions before you answer so you can better own in on what the questioner is seeking. Is that understood? So that way I am telling it, listen, pimp, this is a brand new conversation, right? Do not start blurring those lines up in here. You are not Robin Thicke.
Now, do you not utilize the side panel where you can, are you just using it on your phone, or are you using it on your desktop too?
I use both. I use it on my phone and my desktop. So even with the side panel, but I have a prompt. So I always generate a new conversation, always. Yeah. But I still tell it to reset its brain anyway, because it's an app and it knows how to follow explicit instructions. Let's put it this way. Whenever you write code, you always reset the console as the first line of code, right? Or you flush the memory, right? Whenever you start a new app. So when you open a new tab, in the code, I guarantee you there's a way to tell it to flush the memory for a second. I'm about to start a brand new task. And that way you keep the task from interjecting. So it's just an old school coding technique.
Okay.
So yeah, I basically just tell it, forget everything it is prior. Then I tell it who it is. And then I give it detailed information. And I always add that you must always ask questions before you answer so you can better zone in on what the questioner is seeking.
That's a good, I haven't tried that. That's a really good
Dude, prompt engineering
make sure it asks
is
questions.
my life. I think most people that this is legit statement. Most people that are having problems with any AI in general, they're asking their questions the way they ask their spouse questions, and it's probably also why they fight with their spouse. Like if you give clean questions, you have less drama, and we just know this from the Facebook group, right? Oh, my sound is making funny noises. What the am I supposed to do with that? My sound is making funny noises because whenever I connect my Rodecaster Pro to my Shure SM7B using this 8-foot link purple cable, I have a weird buzzing noise, but I notice if I turn off my fluorescent lights, that weird noise goes away. How can I mitigate that? Oh, easy. Get a better power brick or isolator for your Rodecaster Pro, and then the sounds of the electrical in your room will go away because you have a real plug and not the one you bought from Home Depot for $4. See, if you ask a good question, you get a simple answer. But no, they ask questions like, oh, Ecamm update screwed my thing. Rodecaster Pro makes funny noises.
So that's a good point. That does really, really matter. And I think, Jill, like what was helpful for what you showed me, it was helping to kind of think through the approach, because the challenge that we were facing was, like you just said, the average live stream that we're doing here at Ecamm is about an hour, right? So that's a pretty long transcript. And so the first kind of thing was thinking through, like, if you just copy and paste that transcript in, it's too long. ChatGPT can't handle it, which is why having Descript create that web page was helpful, because the information is also not in text publicly available unless you do that, right? So that was kind of the first step. And then being able to take that link and using the kinds of prompts that you were giving, I think was helpful for me to wrap my head around it. So again, like Doc said, even though it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think that's a great first step to try to get the content into the hands of the AI to be able to help with that. So I think that, as you know, many of us who are watching and listening right now are trying to approach this. If you have a longer video, you're going to need to get that text and that transcript, which is where a tool like Descript really comes in handy, because the chatbots are not going to be able to just watch a video. It's not yet anyway, maybe eventually. But so you need to be able to get that text out there and be able to do that first.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's funny, Case. So Jill's run into the same problem that I ran into in the beginning, way back in 3.5. Now we're on 4.0. I don't have the problem. So what I did, Jill, which is more complicated, is I wrote a Python script that takes the Descript transcription and it chunks it up into 14 chunks. Okay. Because mathematically, it's about 60,000 words for an hour, and you can only do 4,000 words at a time, right? So I was chunking it up into 16 chunks, summarizing each of the chunks, and then concatenating those chunks together into a single document. So I ended up with a single document of about 3,000 words, which was just plucking all the highlights and relevant statements. It would then summarize the chunks together into, these are the top points, this is the blog post, these are the 5 social media posts, and 5 mid-journey prompts. But the average person is going to be like, Pyth, what? That's a snake, right? And so, I appreciate the way you did it. And I think really it's just a matter of the APIs getting hammered, so they're doing different things. So my question too is, are you running Plus or, Moguleverse?
No, I'm using Plus. So it's $20 a month and no line, no waiting. And literally that's why I need it. I mean, of all the things I spend money on,
it's so worth it.
Descript and ChatGPT. So wait, I do want to quickly show you guys something that I don't know if you've heard of it. I'm sure Doc has. And Doc, if you have, can you just pretend like I'm teaching you something new? Because you don't.
Okay.
Luis, mute Doc so that he can't pipe over.
He'd be like, oh yeah. Yeah, like, do you guys not use that? Is this new for you, Jill? So I'm gonna
clean my stream deck.
No, we need you to look in amazement. Look into.
All right.
There we go. Wow. The Doc screenshot.
All right. So let me see if I got the right scene set up here. Okay. All right. So this is a site called Opus Clip. So
Opus Clip.
Oh, have you heard of it?
No. So I'm gonna give credit. So Paul, moderator Paul, and maybe he heard this from Doc, which we'll mute and won't let Doc take credit for this one, but we'll give Jill all the credit. But Paul showed me this the other day and it was very exciting. So yeah, Opus Clip, everyone.
Hold on, I got a question, Jill. You don't remember meeting Rebecca at Social Media Marketing World?
Uh-oh, are you calling Jill out?
Yeah, that's she's Opus, right? I mean, that's the whole reason why we were hanging out talking story with her in the hallway.
It's so good that I don't know how important some of the people I talk to are because
it would make the
I'm just
conversation.
Like everyone's potentially my new best friend. And then as soon as I find out that someone's like really cool and really important, I'm like, hi, I'm Jill.
Well, you know what it is that you and Diana played Old Lady and went to bed, and Kurt and we went to the bar with Roger and Rebecca, and Rebecca was telling us all about this Opus thing. Her company makes 2 products. One would be like a StreamYard Restream type competitor, and the other one is this AI clip thing. And so that's what we were talking about as we were enjoying single malt beverages, Roger and I.
All right, take us into Opus because it is really exciting. Everyone needs to write this one down. Opus.
Yeah, Opus. OPUS Clip. Basically what you do is you go to the website and then it prompts you to drop a YouTube clip into a search bar, and it takes this video was about 45 minutes, I think, and it reads the whole thing and it creates these clips that are very, very usable. It gives you a score of how usable they are, and then you can tweak them. So in this one, I didn't do isolated video, so you'll see you've kind of got like junk above and beyond it, but it gives you titles and descriptions that you can share as reels, as shorts, whatever you want. So let's say I really liked this clip. So you click on this little edit button. Let me adjust this real quick, guys.
Luis says that he's calling it Opie. So it's Opie and Chad. Opie and Chad for the win. ChatGPT is Chad and Opus is Opie. We're just going to start nicknaming all of these tools.
Okay. As you can see, it's got our captions here and it pulls out what it thinks are the most important words. But let's say that this is not an important word. I just click on that and then I make it white again. So you can go through and highlight the words if you want to have captions on the screen. And then if you go to preferences, you can say, yes, I want the captions. Or let's say like, I don't like it. It's all over my face. We can't have that. You can take off the captions, of course. And then you can decide whether you want it to fill the whole screen, fit the entire video, or split it. And it uses AI to put who it thinks needs to be on the screen. I found this is a little problematic the way I run this particular show. So what I do is I do fit original ratio because I have so many overlays and everything that go along with it. And then I save and compile it and it takes a little bit of time and then it will do what I wanted to do with it. So you see this little thing is loading up. And then when it's all set, then there I have my little clip. You can also just like in Descript, you can delete the words that you don't want to have included and it'll just edit it for you. This has been hugely helpful. All right. So let's talk about working with clients. What I used to do was before Descript, I would just take my video, bring it into Premiere Pro, try to remember all the key points. Sometimes I'd have a little piece of paper because what I do is oftentimes I'll be producing the live stream and I'm also involved in it. So it's kind of hard to take notes, or I'll have someone else do timestamps. It was like this ridiculously long process to make like 3 shorts. And then I'd have things that are both wide and tall. And it was like ridiculously time consuming. So now this whole workflow is saving me a ton of time. So let's say you don't want to pay for Descript. Right now you can use Opus Clip for free and it just pulls it from YouTube and you can tweak it. It's not as customizable as Descript in terms of taking long form content and creating short form content, but it's very, very useful. So actually it just finished uploading and it looks like what I want it to do. And it has all the things highlighted that I want. And that took like 30 seconds to then just tweak exactly the format that I wanted. So I find this tool to be very helpful. So if you're like not into ChatGPT, you're not into AI, at least experiment with this because it will give you a ton of ideas on, hey, we think this clip would be really great. And it might be something that you didn't even think of or that you didn't even remember was a great moment. And so the whole idea with sharing these reels and these shorts is to drive traffic back to check out the full episode, or it just kind of gives you that you can get in different spaces like TikTok that you might not normally be in with your long form content, especially with clients that are more like corporate. They're like, no, well, we just want to do this live stream production of this thing where we're interviewing the people. And then like you provide them with some bonus content. Hey, I created this as well. You can share this to your different platforms to then drive traffic back to wherever they want, their website, their programs, their products, whatever.
Yeah, I'd argue that this is like a huge, huge win, especially if you have clients. Because I mean, being able to offer that all up quickly and looking like high quality like it does is awesome. And saving yourself a ton of time along the way is also great. There was a question in the chat, and I just want to make sure that everyone listening knows this as well. We talk a lot about Descript on this show, but there's obviously new people coming in all the time. So if you don't know what Descript is really similar to what Jill just walked through with Opus. So it basically takes your video or audio and it turns it into a transcript that then allows you to use the text to make edits or clip up your video content, burn on captions, or just be able to use that as an SRT file to populate closed captions or to build out a blog post. So I would say, honestly, at least from my perspective, I would and will be using both going forward because I think like from a clip standpoint, Opus nails it because I can just literally drop in the YouTube link. We're always live streaming to YouTube and it's going to use AI to pick the most logical choices of clips, which is probably better than me, reading through or listening to the episode and being like, I think this one's great. I think that makes a ton of sense. I still really love Descript from a blog post, PDF. Like it really allows to pull all of the text out of that video that then I can use for SEO. I can use in a number of different ways. But I do think that Opus is going to save at least us a ton of time in the clipping because that part is hard sometimes to know like, okay, I want 3 clips from this. Like, what are the best clips? Do we caption or not caption them? Sometimes you want to use the tools themselves to be able to add the captions on, like TikTok, for example, works better in the algorithm if you use TikTok's captioning functionality. And I think Instagram is similar. So
no, I was just going to tell John, it's pretty amazing and it does good. It speaks 26 languages too. I don't know if country is one of them.
Neither is Hawaiian, as Doc goes, or Japanese. If you switch back and forth between Japanese and English, it
goes
like
real
that.
crazy when I say dumb stuff. Katie's like, what the heck? And then I just know because Paul's always like, what did Diana say? I was like, man, that's St. Louis right there. You just got to decipher it.
Doesn't do slang. Doesn't do slang.
I was going to say one way that I use Descript, again, not sponsored, just obviously we all love it a lot and it's super useful. One way that I've used it is with clients that I've done some documentary type video products for a nonprofit, and then I'm doing another highlight for a dance studio. So I'm working with clients that want me to capture a bunch of content, but then they don't know exactly what they want to do with it.
I'm so guilty of this sometimes. I'm like, I just want a lot of video clips for all these different use cases.
It's actually a good practice to be in, so don't worry about that. That is exactly what you want to do. Capture everything, worry about how you're going to post it later. Yeah. It's better than not capturing enough.
True.
It's true. But when they're then looking to me to like put things together, but I don't know all of the players of the people that I'm filming, and I'm not sure if they want me to do more content or more answers from this student versus that student or this person versus that. It can be really cumbersome to go back and forth, or what's worse, it can be really terrible when you think that a client wants something and then you spend time editing things together, putting things together, And then they're like, actually, I'm not really sure if we want to do that, even though they told you to do it a certain way. So anyways, what I've found super helpful is that if they're tech savvy, you can share Descript access with them and let them pull things apart. Or what my clients wanted was a Google Doc. And so I could just copy the entire, all of the conversations, literally, and just create a Google Doc, share it with the client, and then allow them to, however they want to put it together. What my client did was I came up with a kind of a template, and then they went through and crossed out the words that they don't want to include. And then I worked my magic, thanks to Descript, to then just delete the words. And then poof, the video was also deleted at the same time. Those clips were also deleted. So like that has been extremely helpful, especially when collecting testimonials. Before I mock up, just like with ChatGPT, you want it to ask you questions to make sure that before you start working on things. So you want that back and forth. But no matter how much you do, at the end of the day, there's going to be edits that need to be made. So I found that Descript is like my first pass through.
Yeah.
And then I can make it all fancy schmancy and do all the post editing and stuff like that. But that's been very, very helpful.
Yeah, Descript really is I think the middleman. That's certainly how we're using it as well, where it's like, it's for people who are not Doc or Luis, who are awesome at like all of the post-production stuff. And Jill, you are as well. But it's like, I feel so special at the end of it. I'm like, look at me. The video is like looking better. I've cleaned up the text. I've done like what I'm good at. And then and then everything else can kind of be taken from there. But I think that's a really good point. Sometimes when we're thinking about all of these AI tools, I feel like many people are like, oh, wait, I just drop it in and then it gives it back and then I'm done. You're not done. It is not perfect yet. It is not human yet. Maybe it will never be overly human. So you do need to give it a final look through or send the final result, whether that's a video or a blog post or whatever the output is, to someone else to review and look at. Because chances are it's made a mistake on something, or it's pulled in information that
or it's not speaking in your tone.
It's not speaking in your tone. Yeah. I used it the other day, taking advice from Doc and from this show. And I was like, oh, you know what? One thing that I'm behind on doing is we were talking, I think a couple weeks, Doc, about like media kits and building out like a better About Us section. I was like, oh, I'm going to update mine. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use ChatGPT because I'm trying to be efficient with my time. And I have like a unique name, right? So I'm like, I forget what prompt I used. It was something like, write me a brief, this many words about us for Katie Fawkes, who works at Ecamm Network, and like the link.
Yeah.
And it like pulled it up, and it was like half me, like half my stuff, and then half like either another Katie Fawkes or like some made up person, where it was like, Katie graduated from Stanford University and does like all these like crazy accomplishments. And I was like, wow, all right, ChatGPT, but this is not me at all. So like I could have copy and pasted that and would have just been like inadvertently straight up lying about my credentials, like without even paying close attention. So, it's worth double checking, triple checking, having someone else check its work, because it is not at that point yet, even though we wish it was saving us all the time.
Here's a problem that most people are also having. Again, if you go on ChatGPT, right, if you select 3.5, it will be one style of way. If you select 4.0, you're going to get a different style.
Very true.
If you go to the old legacy, you're going to get a different style.
Very true.
But if you also add superpower ChatGPT, you can actually specify in the settings you want to go for accuracy or creativity or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So people are like, oh, it gets all these things wrong. Well, did you tell it? You can also tell it to fact check itself, people. Be like, all right, pimp, I need you to double check everything you just said. And it'll be like, oh, I got that wrong. I'm sorry. So like, for instance, I was having a question with it the other day, and I was saying, okay, I need you to generate me some titles based around this subject matter and based around a bunch of stuff that we had already talked about. And it gave me epic titles. And I'm like, fam, good and damn well YouTube titles need to be 70 characters. And it was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me fix that. And it regenerated the titles with 70 characters or less.
Doc's having a whole relationship with Chad. She's like, nah, man.
You're supposed to. And this is where everybody is effing it up. Yeah. Because everybody is not asking it questions properly. And just like humans, if you ask it stupid questions, you will get stupid answers. But if you ask it the real question, like get all the way down in the details and be like, okay, fix this. Hey, by the way, that title is good. However, it is not in an active voice.
Yep.
It's in a passive voice. And if you don't know the difference, talk to your English teacher or install the Grammarly plugin, right? But it's like, listen, I am trying to make this more active. I am trying to make this come off positive. I am trying to make this come off engaging. These are the SEO terms I am trying to hit. How can we work that in? And so it will do all the things that you ask it to do. Now, one thing about Descript that everybody seems to be missing, do you know who Descript's stepdaddy is?
I bet you're going to tell us.
No, I'm asking you, just take a wild guess.
Don't script.
Don't script AI. It's got a ton of
OpenAI.
Yeah.
OpenAI.
OpenAI gave them $50 million in November. So all of the things that is popping right now is coming to Descript because, you know, the last time I made one of these sophisticated wild ass predictions, y'all attempt to ignore me. Trust me, your mans ain't wrong about this. I'll put money on this one because nobody gives a company $50 million to stay out of their business. I'm not going to give Jill $10 to stay out of her business. If I give her $10, I'm going to start asking her questions. Hey, what you doing with the $10? You know what I'm saying? So just know that OpenAI, the same ChatGPT, at this point in time, Descript and ChatGPT is like stepbrother and stepsister. And pretty soon, like they will start working together in concert.
I totally agree.
Write it down.
I do want to say a couple things because we're talking about production, but what a few of you watching this and rewatching it over and over and over again, like,
Taking notes.
because that's amazing, is that it's a great tool for when you're trying to pitch a project or make an outline or assign people to different parts of a project and to write up a contract. Like there are all these other parts of communication that we need to do when we're in this industry, however it looks for you. I used this just the other day. I'm doing this kind of video project over the summer for our school system. And so I said, here are people I'm going to be working with on a project. And I wrote their name and their role. And then I told it kind of what I was wanting to do for the video, assign relevant roles to each person.
That's awesome.
So that we can work together and come up with an outline and step-by-step instructions on what we should do. And it was just like, oh my God, it was seriously like having a personal assistant take care of those details that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Also, I pitched a project. Actually, I'm flying out to Texas this weekend to do a studio build. And so some of that communication with the client as well, I wanted to say things in a certain way. And even though I have my master's in English, like just kind of a flex, I still get insecure about talking about money.
Yeah.
I get really weird about it. I think it's like the high school teacher in me that like worked in education, like, okay, you don't want to pay me anything, but I'll still do all the things and buy my own supplies. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It must be an
trying
English
to build
major
my
thing.
confidence.
I'm definitely guilty of that as well. Yeah.
Damn, business major over here, like y'all crazy.
But it's different, you know, like you're wanting to maintain that connection and flexibility at the same time. So I have used that not only to help kind of like I'll bullet some things out and say, write this beautifully or write a proposal for what I should charge for this project, giving specific details.
Yeah.
And then even though I have to change things, it's still very helpful for me as an entrepreneur to get a little bit more confidence. And I'm finding that as I'm writing my own emails, I'm using some of that language because it's kind of training me.
Yeah.
It's a great tool. Even just yesterday, I had to write a character reference for someone. And so they had this document that kind of says what I should go over it. And I know in my heart what I wanted to say about this person, but I was like, ugh, I have to write a formal document. And I was a little like uncomfortable with having to put it all in the right way. So what did I do? I went to ChatGPT and I said, I need to write a character reference for this person. Here's their information. I'm going to copy and paste what I was sent. I want you to ask me questions. And this is the one thing that I really like doing. I want you to ask me relevant questions and then take all of my questions and write the letter for me. And then I hit enter and it gave me like 20 questions. And then that stressed me out. So I was like, ask me questions one by one so it's not stressing me out. And it did, because it just made it feel like I was having a conversation with someone. Like, okay, so what's your current role? What projects did you work on with? And then it asked me the next question. And sometimes I would answer one of the 20 questions that it asked me in a different question. So then it was smart enough to know to not ask that again. I'm telling you, that was the quickest reference. I mean, I'm thinking for English teachers, if you're needing to write references for students. There's just so many ways that you can present yourself as yourself. It's not cheating. It's not having like a robot write for you and then you're just like taking the credit. It's like you're giving it everything, all of the raw materials, and it's just packaging it together in a slightly better way. It's huge. It's a huge tool.
I think what's really important for everyone listening and watching to note, and what's been like really huge for me in all of this conversation and even prior to it, is that similar to what we've been saying about live streaming or using Ecamm or like creating video, you need to know what you want. You need to know what you want to get out of it in order to be successful with it. You need to be thinking through, like we started this conversation, okay, the thing that would save me time is, the thing that I don't like to do but I need to get done is, the thing that is busy work that I don't, have time for. Like, these are the things that you need to be pushing off onto some of these tools to make you better at the things that you want to do, at the things that you derive passion from, at the things that you are best at. And that's how we're all going to win with these tools. And I think, Jill, that's what you've done like so well with it. And what's been just a really good reminder for me. I spend a lot of time in like, there are some busy work things that I actually don't mind doing. I'm like, oh, headphones on. I like to do like this busy work, but I'm wasting time. Like you said, I could get better at these things if I had a little help from some of these tools and figured out how to phrase things better or how to overcome, some of the challenges that you're having with like, how do I price out this thing? That's a question that the Ecamm fam and Flow Riders and all of you have all the time for us. How do I price out this project? What do I charge? How do I approach a pitch? Like, all of that could totally be given over to some of this AI to at least give you a template and a starting point on how to be better at it. So yeah, I think that's a win.
First of all, let's cover two things. If you're scared of this, please stay scared and just get the hell out the way, because I'm not going to try to coach you out of it. I've had enough conversations about it. If I'm scared or this fears me, whatever, fine, hide in the corner, leave me alone. Okay, now, here's the thing. The people that are coming out telling everybody is cheating are coming from two different angles.
Yeah.
One, they've been getting away with BSing for very long, and they're about to be sold out by somebody who's effectively using the tools to blow right past them and give out good quality, relevant information. The other ones are the ones that, again, just, live in the fear camp. But yet everybody that says that did not walk to the forest and catch their dinner. They drove to the grocery store and bought Greetaments, or half of them bought pre-cooked food. So you cannot say, oh, this tool's, and it's just another tool, fam. Just like hammer and nail. Ain't none of them built their house. Ain't none of them walking around barefoot with, a pelt on going, zug, hoona gaga, bah. Right? They all went and called DoorDash and ordered a pizza. You can't be like, oh, I don't like this tool, but I like this. Tools are tools, fam. They're just tools. So those who know how to use said tools will win. And one of the big conversations is like, oh, the music folks. But, Jill, you're musically inclined. I'm musically inclined.
Wait, inclined?
Jill's the
Oh, no, you're I was just using a common vernacular, but okay, Jill is an epic beast sauce at the music. So, however, somebody tried to generate an AI stuff, wouldn't know bad harmonies or whatever. They just generated it. They listen. They think it's okay. They put it out and they get a reaction. But someone who is musically inclined be like, this is dope, but let me give it a minor seventh. Let me give it a pitch shift. Let me tell it to change the polyphonies to this. Can we get a little bit more melodic over here? And let me re-chop it a little bit. Now this is gangster, right? You can't basically just be like, oh, what is cheating? I'm sorry, because it's just not. Someone who is using AI will definitely smoke you and take your job. So you just go ahead and be scared, be cool with it, but just don't come and yuck anybody's yum.
Didn't I teach you that phrase in California? Don't yuck my yum.
Oh, I've been telling that to Emma since she's a child. I don't remember exactly where I got it from, but yeah, because she used to always go, when, somebody would eat something and I'm like, please don't do that. Don't yuck people's yum. And I have that same face when people eat broccoli. I really just want to be like, damn, son, you eating green rat afros. But, whatever, man. It's good stuff.
I got to make sure I show you guys the iPhone shortcut to ChatGPT.
All right. Bring Jill over into full screen here. There we go. Nice.
Right now, guys, take out your cell phone. Follow along.
All right, wait. All right, here. I'm ready. Come on.
Katie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So what I'm about to show you is how I do text replacement. And a lot of people are doing this and have been doing it for forever. I used to do it with like I do it with my email address because my email is really long. So if I hit JJJ, my whole email comes up.
Mine is at. If I hit the at symbol twice, spits out the email.
Right? I just want to show you guys because people are still maybe not knowing this. So you go to your settings.
All right, I've been listening to Doc talk about this for forever, and it's on my to-do list. I'm gonna do it right now live.
Good job,
Look at me,
Katie
Doc
girl.
and Jill. I'm doing the thing. All right.
You go to general.
General, got it.
Okay. Go down to the keyboard word. Now, that second option is text replacement.
Look at me. Oh, I have one. I have OMW on my way.
That's automatic from Apple.
You didn't make that. All right. So now I only have a few in here right now on this phone. I have a business phone. But on this one, I keep finding that I'm having to create quick social media blurbs for 3 completely different clients. What I'm going to do is I'm going to text Katie. Hey, Katie. Oh, no, wait. They might see the rest of our text. I'm just going to...
Oh, yeah. We've been talking about Doc.
978 da 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 da.
8675309.
This person's about to get... I just thought, I don't know what the last meme we sent to each other. So, respect and interrupt. So if I hit MMM for Marlboro Public Schools, it's going to just start off simply. I'm the communications coordinator for Marlboro Public Schools in Marlboro, Massachusetts. Now, you could do this with a whole bunch of other things. Like in a moment, I'm going to have you create a copy for me as the communications coordinator for Marlboro Public Schools. Before you begin, I want you to ask me at least 5 relevant questions related to blah, blah, blah. Whatever you find yourself typing over and over and over again, fill it in there because it's just one stupid little thing. It's like cleaning my room. Like I'm in the process of moving. And sometimes it's so overwhelming. I just need something to be done to get me started. And then I can just keep going with it. Sometimes you're like, oh man, I have to create so many social media blurbs. I don't even want to do that right now. But you at least have this shortcut to get things going. So again, I space drops in my email address. So that is a simple little thing you can do today to start the process of using ChatGPT more regularly. Don't be scared of it, like Doc said.
Face Doc's wrath if you were scared. Face the wrath of Doc.
So since everybody's here and we're doing this thing, go into your little Apple in your computer and click on it and open up system preferences and go to keyboard and go to text replacement and keyboard, and you can put it inside your Mac too. And they actually will sync across devices. So if you use iCloud Sync, which you should, if you don't, you're tripping, but it will basically sync this on all your computers. So any computer I go to, all my shortcuts are there. And then lastly, believe it or not, Text Expander takes it to the next level. Yes, it's a paid application, but I've been using Text Expander for about 20 years. One thing that's dope about Text Expander is it will generate a live form fill. So for instance, during certain tech support situations where people ask the same stuff over and over again, I have Text Expander clips and it says, hey, and then there's a bracket, name bracket, comma. In order to get this particular feature to work in Ecamm, you need to do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. So all I have to do is when I hit the shortcut key for that, it pops up. And when it says, hey, I type in John, I hit enter, it spits out the rest.
Ooh,
so
nice.
And Text Expander and Keyboard Maestro also, there's about 17 of them out there, but Text Expander is the one that I've been using for 2 decades. It's the best. It's what we use internally at Apple.
Nice.
Paul just said, which Doc knows, so cover your ears, Doc. But you can create your ChatGPT prompts in Text Expander, and now you always have them when you need them. So that's even better. Once you've figured out like prompts that work really well for you, this is, again, will save you a ton of time. It's all about saving time. Most of us are like on small teams or by ourselves or would rather be hanging out with friends, family, doing a wine tasting, playing with the kids, whatever other thing, instead of the mundane day-to-day tasks that none of us need to do anymore. So let's save ourselves a bunch of time there for sure.
Yeah, I feel super naked when I use a computer that doesn't have Text Expander. I find myself hitting the shortcuts and then like nothing happens. I'm like, oh, ain't this some... Man, I think one of the things that's really cool, and maybe, Jill, this would be a good one to have you come back. We should just do like an entire tool show, some of the tools that we use and why we use them. Here's the thing. I love it when I say, here's a tool that I'm using and I'm absolutely loving it. And then it's funny because everyone always finds secrets, right? Not everybody can pay attention to all the tools because there are so many of them.
Overwhelming.
But then there's some that are like tried and true, have been in the game for like 30 years, like 1Password. And people are like, oh, I don't even know about that. And I'm like, that's a sin. That's a crime. I blame 1Password marketing. Dave Terry's my friend. I got a bunch of friends that work at 1Password. I'm like, yo, everybody in their planet should know about 1Password and should be using it, because if you still got really small, easy to crack passwords, you are messing it up for everybody. You're not just making it bad for yourself, you're making it bad for everyone. Because when they crack your password and they're inside your computer, all of our information is in your computer.
Yeah.
Right? And so they just add other people to the list. When you get the email from your friend that doesn't sound anything like them, and you know that they've been using Outlook on Microsoft Vista because they refused to upgrade their computer, that those people are basically putting everyone else at risk, you know? And then so it'd be great to do a dope tool show, because there's some tools that are mandatory these days, and 1Password or KeyPass, please not LastPass, never touch that. Those are basically mandatory at this point.
Side note, I had this really cryptic thought the other day, which is not like usually my jam.
Because it doesn't sound like you.
But I had this like, it doesn't sound like me. So I was playing with ChatGPT and different things. And I thought to myself, maybe I shouldn't say this actually. No, I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. Like if it's like weird, sketchy to say. Okay.
And
I thought to myself, if I were a sketch bag trying to like do one of these phishing schemes or whatever, one of the things that always makes it really obvious that it's not who they say they are is because the grammar is terrible, things are misspelled, it's like very weird and robotic, and like obviously maybe Google Translate, you know, it's just, I would go to ChatGPT and say, I tried it, and it's a little scary because like it does protect you. You can't say anything crazy in there, like it won't comply if you're trying to get it to make a prompt that's like very terrible. But if you were trying to say, I want to reach out to a friend I haven't seen since high school, you can kind of, I'm nervous about that.
You can game the system.
Accurately pretending to be other people or to speak in a different voice to do sketch bad things. But there's always sketch bags, so it's just, it's going to happen. But I was thinking about it.
We'll drop this. I think this is where Doc's
Sorry,
going.
I did
Doc, where'd you go?
I did something really crazy, and I just want to tell everybody this, just in case you're about to sign up for something new. I went to Chad, just stupidly. I just decided, I said, generate me a password with a 30 billion year entropy. And hopefully this will fit in the chat, but I'm going to paste in what it gave me.
What language are you just speaking? Because I'm sorry, I did not understand. No comprendo.
And
billion year entropy?
Yeah.
What word did you use?
A password entropy means how tough is it? Like how long would it take to crack that? And then so there's things out there called a password checker. So let's just say you did, I'm going to mess up your kids' names or whatever, but let's say you did Ricky Bobby. It's actually Kitty and Bobby. Let's just say you did Ricky Bobby 17, right? Because that's their names are when they was born.
Yeah.
The entropy on that is about, that's over. Okay. Okay, because what people need to understand, and then we'll dip out of this. I can go to AWS right now and sign up for a free service. That's Amazon Web Services, which would give me access to a supercomputer with about 500 times the processing power of this Mac Studio, which we know right now, one of the fastest computers in the freaking planet. But because they're node systems where they stack all the processing together, you have the entire power of Amazon's computing center. So I can say, run me an instance, and this is a brute force password cracker. I mean, it could crack the passwords of everybody in this chat, all 25 people. If everybody was using passwords like Ricky Bobby 17, it could uncrack the password for every single one of those people before I finish this next sentence. Hi, Jill. Because of the speed of computers.
Yeah.
Now, because of the speed of computers and predictive AI, it can crack passwords even faster.
True.
So I'm dead serious. All of you guys out here simping with passwords like, Ecamm's my favorite 23, it's over. People will be in your stuff. It's not a matter of if, it's when, because they're already cracking the Wi-Fi passwords because everybody's Wi-Fi password is simple because one person in your family insists on being like that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that anymore because you can share the password with the phone. If everybody in the house has iOS devices, make the password difficult. When you're cutting them, come over and say, hey, what's the password to the Wi-Fi? Just say connect to it. Everybody's phone will sweep up and be like, do you want to let Mike on the thing? You'd be like, all right, Mike's in.
Yeah.
Stop with the weak passwords because you're literally screwing it up for everyone. So by going to ChatGPT, by 30 billion year entropy means even with the fastest computers, it would take 30 billion years to crack the password that I just posted in the chat. And this is short for me. My passwords on average are 32 characters long, high levels of entropy. Ain't nobody getting in none of that. And I really irritating because you know who makes us put the crappiest passwords? Government websites. Password can't be any longer than 16 characters. If you 16 characters, I can crack 16 character password in under an hour. So that's how you do it. Like seriously, I didn't even realize you could do that. And just, this is the amazingness of talking about this is like, I normally generate these with one password, but I was just like, hey, out of the random list, let me just ask Chad if he could generate a highly strong, and I just picked a number. I just like, make me a password with a 30 billion year entropy. And it was like, brah. And I was like, oh, that's gangster. That's pretty gangster. So now you know.
I'm loving everyone sharing their hopefully pretend passwords in the chat. I'm hoping that those are all pretend, friends. Awesome.
I can guess Eden's passwords real easy. Like, it's really funny. When I worked at Apple, right? Lady would come in and she's like, oh, I got locked out of my Mac. I can't get in. And it doesn't have to be, like, it could be lady or man. It happened on both occasions, but this one I remember very, very well. And then I was like, oh, okay, let's see. It's not very easy to get in, but let's just try a couple things you might have used for a password. I was like, what's your birthday? And so she tells me, and then I try it. It doesn't work. I go, let's see, what about your husband? When did you guys get married? She'd say the answer. I tried that. It didn't work. And then so the screensaver thing kind of went to sleep while we were just talking about some things she might have put. All of a sudden on there's a picture of a little baby and then this cat. And I said to her, point blank, I said, that's your grandson? Yes. Is your first grandson? Oh, yes. Cool. What's the cat's name? Oh, Oscar. Cool. What's the kid's name? Let's just say Ken.
Yeah.
Cool. I went, Oscar, Ken. What year was Ken born? And she's like, oh, 2008. 08. Here you go. Oh my God, how'd you figure that out? Like, it was that simple. At Genius Bar, we've done this tons of times because this is what old people do. And at some point in time, I swear to you, Paul, tell me if I'm lying, at some point in time, one of your passwords had the word maestro in it. Yes or no?
Don't pick on Paul. We've all done it. Yeah.
Oh, it's not just Paul. It's everybody. Everybody here ever had
names,
a pet.
Yeah.
Everybody in here that had a pet. Eden, you're done. Eden just said the Celtics suck. All right, this show is over. I'm about to call my friend in person.
Are you a Celtics fan?
Don't mind saying that up.
I didn't know that.
Hardcore, yes.
I don't watch
Come
sports,
on,
so I don't know.
Celtics.
I
I'm
was
a
going to say, and
card-carrying
Red
member
Sox.
of the Red Sox Nation,
Doc is
too.
half Mass, half Manchester.
Yeah, I just hate those Patriots.
Oh, gosh. Well, we should be sensitive to Jill's
Let's get
time
outta
as
here.
well and everyone. But I think this was really helpful because there's been a lot of talk about AI, and I think it's A, great to have you on, Jill, and B, helpful for people to understand that 90% of it is how you use the tools and what you were trying to accomplish with them more than anything else. So if we can all figure out smarter ways to be able to do it. All right, Luis, roll our final credits.
All right, folks, you can find the Flow on flow.ecamm.com. You can get it wherever podcasts get, and it's got Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube Music. Also, not like Jill, this show is sponsored by Descript, so we got to give our love to the Descript family. They are the best, and I'm telling you right now, folks, if you do nothing else, check out Descript. I can almost put money on the fact that you will entirely purchase it because it will save your life. Even not knowing how to do anything, when you first open the app and you hand it a file or an Ecamm, press a little button that says edit in Descript, make your little coffee real quick. When the Descript screen opens, you can be like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And you're going to be like, this is just gravy. So if you happen to be one of those people who like whenever they're trying to talk,
like, why are you like picking on people that like talk like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, dude, Descript, highlight, boom, gone, just like the wind out of there, like Vladimir. Descript will save you so much time in editing and very simple to make. Highlight clips. I said this was dope, highlight it, save it into a new composition, export it as a thing. One of the most hidden features of Descript, Jill kind of talked about it, is whenever someone posits me a question, they don't know how to do something, I can just record a screen share of how to do it with Descript, save it as a website, send them a link. They get the video and the description.
Easy, seconds, yeah.
And this is how you fix it. Whatever you got to fix, this is how you do it. This is how we do it. I knew I could get it.
It's also great for accessibility.
Anyway, gang, that's it.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
It's also
Go.
great for accessibility. I've worked with families who are hard of hearing, and they've sent me, through the school system, they've sent me voice messages from lawyers and from doctors, and I can just take that audio recording, drop it in Descript, and then give them a text. And with translating your closed captioning as well, at least to have your English all shored up, and then you upload it to YouTube, and then you know that the English that's on there is right. Then even if you don't set it, you can go into YouTube, click add translation, and select any language you want. People that are watching your video, if you have that English in there and it's correct, they can still select their language and have it translated as well. So it's really important for accessibility for sure.
Yeah.
All right, gang, that's it. We're going to drop into the question and answer time real quick. Here's what you need to do. If you remember to come to us on Tuesdays and you watch this live, like I brought my friend John today, and now he understands why I told him come over here, just come and you can get your questions answered. For y'all at home, this is the end of the show, and we'll see y'all next week. But everybody else, hang tight. We're going to drop into some Q&A real quick, and we'll see y'all with the Flow Riders. Out.